Yeah. Greetings from Zion Links once more. Yeah, still on the topic, the death of Mohbad, the conspiracy behind his death. So I want to quickly give a scenario, a possible nearest scenario of what transpired on that night. On the 10th of Sunday of the event that they were, the day of the event, it was not actually planned that Wunmi will be going with them. But due to the argument or due to the discussion or fight they had before they leaving, I believe Mohbad has a strong spirit, disowning spirit. So I believe either he had an intel or info concerning the paternity of the child, of the son, Lled. So I believe that morning or that afternoon, or the evening of that Sunday, Mohbad confronted Wunmi, Cynthia, and asked her who is the true father of the child, that he wanted her to tell him who the true father of the child is. So I believe Wunmi was not forthcoming. The quarrel escalated. She wasn't telling him the truth. She wasn't trying to tell him. Still trying to make him believe that the child is his. So they didn't conclude that discussion. But deep in Mohbad's mind, Mohbad has already made up his mind to discard her. Because at this point, I believe Mohbad has received a strong evidence that this child is not his child. Remember, he accused her on infidelity, serial infidelity. So, because of that fight, Mohbad went down with his crew to leave. But one person wouldn't allow him to go alone, and that is Wunmi. Because she doesn't want Mohbad, she wants to control the atmosphere at the event, doesn't want Mohbad to speak out to anyone. That is why she wants to be in close proximity with him, as long as she has not been able to convince him that that child is his. That was why she opted to go with them. Fast forward. Now remember that I think it was Prime Boy, I think it was Prime Boy that said that when they leave, when Mohbad and Cynthia, they are alone in the car, they are quarreling, they are discussing the heated discussion. And when someone comes around, they keep quiet, they stop. So this makes us to understand that it was a sensitive topic whatever it was a sensitive topic. So fast forward to when they came back. This is what happened the night Mohbad died. This is the nearest description, not too far off from the real from the real event that took place that night. When they got back to the estate, to the house where Mohbad and Cynthia and the rest of them were living, in the compound, Wunmi insisted, wanted to go to a hotel, insisting that she doesn't want to be in that house based on the quarrel they were having. And you know, when women start dodging accountability, this is what happens. She doesn't want to continue with that uncomfortable discussion of the child not being Mohbad's child. So she was convinced by the rest of the people that it was too late and, you know, a bad idea to take a 4-month-old baby to a hotel. Now they all went up. When they went inside the room, Mohbad went up to their bedroom, and subsequently Wunmi took the child from spending and went up too. When they got up, Mohbad continued the accusation and continued to question her of the true father of that child, and a heated argument, discussion ensued also. And you know, Wunmi naturally abuse to provoke. I believe she started abusing, throwing abusive words on Mohbad, which might have led to Mohbad hitting her on the face. Remember, in the video of where the day Mohbad was buried, the day Mohbad was buried, in the video the day Mohbad was buried, Cynthia Wunmi had a swelling on her face. So that was probably due to that occurred that night, the early Monday morning. Remember, they left in the evening of Sunday for the event, were there throughout the event. Then they came back around 1 a.m. on Monday morning, which is the 11th. So, as back to the bedroom that night, that argument continued, that quarrel continued, which led to Mohbad probably hitting her on the face. Whatever, Mohbad went to bed. Remember, he has performed. He was stressed up. You know, this is when you deal with this issue, you are emotionally drained. He was frantically empty. So he was tired. Mohbad went to bed, and Mohbad was laying face down on the bed. He was probably laying like this, face down on the bed. Then someone came with an object. While he was laying on the bed, might be a bottle, might be a metal, might whatever, and hit Mohbad. While Mohbad was on the bed like this, that person hit Mohbad with that object on his head, which left him with a cut on the back of his head, which also led to the heavy bleeding. And that was how Mohbad, remember, coming back, he took off his shirt, still having his singlet on him, while the white singlet was then soaked with blood, and the duvet which he used to cover himself probably was also with blood. That was how those two items got to be soaked with blood. So the story of Mohbad falling off from the staircase was a plan B explanation of what happened to Mohbad, what they have cooked to feed the public with. It was a plan B that at the end, I mean, if other thing didn't work out, they can tie it that Mohbad was having quarrel and he was pushed and he fell off the stairs, like in the movie, hit his head on the floor, and that was what killed him. But that's not the event. No. That's what they were trying to cook up, because if he fell off from the staircase, how come there was blood on the duvet? You couldn't have possibly run upstairs to go and get the duvet to clean the blood on the floor. No. That is not the event. If it had happened downstairs, if there was any attempt to clean the blood, it would be items from the kitchen, like a rag or whatever around, clothes around, that they're going to use to clean the blood. Not going to the bedroom to take the duvet from the bed to come downstairs to clean blood. So that story won't fly. He didn't fall off the staircase. What I told you was what happened. So from there, all of them in that house, including Adura, should start explaining what happened thereafter. We can see a vested interest in the death of Mohbad. My suspicion is that, now talking about Adura, his junior brother, their relationship, I want to believe that Adura grew up with her mom, lived with her mom, while Mohbad lived with his dad. And this brotherly bond was never actually there. And like we all know in the Bible, the story of Cain and Abel, how Cain killed Abel out of jealousy. That might have been the case, that all the while Adura has been envious, jealous of Mohbad's success and fame, and was wishing he could step into his shoes. So, in order to back what I've just said, recently, while Mohbad's birthday is still in the mortuary and the case in court, Adura released a song, and he titled it something Justice for Mohbad. And in an interview, in a radio interview, he explained to the interviewer that he wants to take over the legacy of Mohbad, your brother, who is still in the mortuary. And he was telling the interviewer that he wished, that he want them to bury Mohbad as quick as possible because he wants to continue his legacy. And in that interview, that is why I told you there is no bond, no brotherly bond between them, because these are two people that grew up in two separate homes. And remember that Mohbad also was having grievances against his mother, which he years before settled with her, had to make peace with her. But there wasn't much of mother-child kind of relationship between Mohbad and his mother while he was growing up living in his father's house, and also no brotherly bond or relationship like that between him and Adura, his junior brother. And I believe that Adura only got to start mingling or relating with Mohbad due to the fact that Mohbad, his senior brother, attained fame. So he wants to be part of it. So back to that interview. When you listen to that interview, when you watch that interview, there was no remorse, no feeling of somebody who lost a brother just 2 years ago, not long ago. You know, when you lose a brother, there is, I mean, no matter what, anytime that topic comes up, it will reflect on you. There was no sign of that. No sign of that on Adura's face. No, his actions, nothing. All he cares and he wants was his fame. That it is his time, just like our dear president, Emilio Ko, who says, I will fight if it means fighting dirty, that he will fight dirty, that it is done. And that is the case with Adura. That is why Adura is a suspect. That is why Adura is conniving, because people are saying, how can a brother, your brother, and you can't tell people what happened? This is the reason why. Number one, there is no brotherly bond like that. Adura does not really see Mohbad as his blood brother. They never grew up together. Number two, he's envious of Mohbad and wanted Mohbad's fame. And that is why he believed now that Mohbad is dead, he has no interest for any justice, whether or not he was involved in the killing or whatever. All he wants is everything should go. Mohbad is out of the way. It is his time to reign and shine. So that is what happened. So Mohbad died as a result of being hit with an object in the back of his head, which led to bleeding. That's why the duvet was soaked with blood. So, women, I've helped you a little bit. And all of you that are there spending, I've helped you a little bit. Now come out and give us the rest of the story. VDM, we are on it. I hope I've been able to open up something that is hidden. I mean, to throw a light, because all these things that is being said, it's a common logic. It's simple. It's like when you add 1 + 1 together, this is what you get. So all of you that have been spending Darusia, Adura, Wumi, especially Wumi, you need to tell probably all these people were not there when this happened in the bedroom. So Wunmi, you need to come out and be telling us and tell the truth. Do you know why it favors you, Wunmi, to tell the truth so that the justice system can deal with it? You might think you want to have your way through the justice system, the way the coroner court has handled the case carelessly, and then they let you off the hook, and you feel you've escaped. That you've been smart, you escape. Wunmi, if the court does not deliver justice, Wunmi, you are in Lagos. The streets will deliver justice, and there's justice that the street will deliver to you will be more wicked. It will be more wicked, mercilessly wicked. I lived in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. See it. People are being lynched, practically lynched to death, with tires on their neck and burnt alive. Beaten and burnt alive. These are the things that happen to people, armed robbers or whatever that they will caught. And if a jungle street justice happen in Lagos, that's how it goes. But with me, if the courts, Nigerian justice system, the court system finds you guilty, if you confess what happened, the best you will get, the worst you will get is a jail sentence, probably highest life sentence. Then you will hope probably something magic might happen and you'll be released. But if this doesn't happen, the anger, if the court system lets you free, the anger of Anweko, Ikorodu boys, Lagos boys, the anger will be multiplied. Unless you will disappear from Lagos, most especially. But as long as you're in Lagos, it's best you tell the courts what happened and receive the consequence. Don't let the street deliver justice for Mohbad. If they do, Wunmi, hey, it won't be good for you. It won't end well. Okay? So like I still tell you, I want your back boy what's up with Wunmi Barokoni. He was Ningbeire. He was Ningbeire. He was Beliya. Iya. Shege. My cherry. So do the right thing. Do the right thing, Wunmi. Do the right thing. So that this boy who has been nothing but a blessing in your life, to your life and your family, only sad that you have to pay him back this way. You have to appreciate him this way, with this messy story, ugly story that we are telling. So I'll keep it at that. That was what happened. The duvet explains where the killing took place. It was on the bed. It was on the bed. Okay? So we know what happened. We just want to hear it from your mouth. Okay. So, my people, thank you. Keep it real. One love.